Good morning, class. And our very first activity that we're going to be doing is about the My Plate. So before we start that, can someone tell me if they know anything about the My Plate? Good. The My Plate consists of 5 key aspects, and they're fruit, vegetables, grain, protein, and dairy. So before we go into the activity, can someone remind me of what I just said? What are the 5 groups? Good. The 5 main groups again are fruit, vegetables, protein, grain, and dairy. So we're gonna, as you can see, I got some cards laid out. Those cards are gonna come in. You gotta print those out before we start the activity, of course. So the goal is there's different of the 5. There's 5 main groups. There is a type of food on them, and that goes towards a certain activity. Like fruit goes towards jumping jacks, vegetables go towards running in place. Protein is air squats, grain is sit-ups, and dairy is invisible jumping rope. So we're going to start over here. They're going to be about 5 to 10 meters away, depending on how much room you got and the space you got. So I'm going to start on the line, run over here, pick it up. I have an apple. Apples is a fruit. So you have 10 jumping jacks. So like I talked about earlier, jumping jacks start right here, up like that, and then down like making a star. If jumping jacks are a little too easy, you can do a burpee, and we've discussed those prior to this. So you're going to take that sheet and you're going to put it where fruit would go on the My Plate. So then you can start back in the line again, run over here, pick up a card, and I have broccoli, which is run in place for 15 seconds. Put the broccoli on where the vegetables will go. So as we talked about earlier, we want to have the opposite motion going, and then pocket to ear motion, so it kind of looks like that. And if you're struggling with that, or if you're tired, we can go towards walking in place. And that is going to be the same thing. We're going to be focused on this movement, but in a slower motion to emphasize this motion, but we can slow it down a little bit if you're having trouble. Next, we're going to start back on the line again. Run back over. I got a dairy, which is milk, and that is jump rope in place for 10 times with a pretend jump rope. So it'll be like the bunny hops we talked about earlier. Have our wrists out like this, up and down like this. Here's a side view. Try to keep the knees locked up. It's not like a squat or anything. You're gonna have your knees and your body relax and not tighten up. You'll put milk where the dairy would go. Then you start back on the line again. Run back over. Now I have pasta, which is a grain. Put the pasta on where the grain would go on the My Plate. Then sit-ups, again, like this. Hands behind the ears and up like so. You can grab your legs if you're having trouble with that, but we're going to try to avoid that. And then, so now I got apples, milk, broccoli, and pasta. Which one am I missing? Good, I'm missing protein still. So I'm going to run back over. And now I have chicken. So I'll put the chicken where the protein is, and that chicken is a protein, so I have air squats. So have your hands out in front and then down and up, keeping your body straight, not like this. We're going to be bending more in the hips and the knees than in the back. Here's a side view. So down like this, keeping a flat back as much as possible, not bending at all. So you're gonna keep on going, and you gotta fill up a whole My Plate, and then you can move on to another My Plate. So then you just find a different fruit, proteins, everything that makes up a My Plate, and you're gonna try to get as many as you can in a 2 to 3 minute window. Once that is up, you can do like a 3 to 5 second celebration. So you can do a dance, you can yell, anything to help celebrate your abilities of completing the My Plate activity. after each round, we're going to try to get 3 to 4 rounds of this in. You can take a minute break, you take 45-second break, depending on your ability. And once that is up, we will move on to the next activity. But before you move on to the next activity, you got to remember to fill out your worksheet for the MyPlate and to see if you gave out a compliment during that. You can do a compliment during your break time. You can include it in your celebration, so you can give a high five to someone. That can count towards your celebration and count towards your compliment. So let's get started on that first activity and let's see how it goes.